Have you ever felt like life was breaking you apart piece by piece? Like every step forward came with another wound? Let me tell you something powerful. Pain doesn't destroy you, it shapes you. Every scar, every sleepless night, every silent tear is a mark of strength being carved into your soul. Kobe Bryant once said, everything negative, pressure, challenges, is all an opportunity for me to rise. That's not just a quote. It's a mindset. Pain isn't your enemy. It's your teacher. It's the fire that forges your purpose, the storm that tests your foundation, and the shadow that reminds you where the light is. When pain comes, don't run. Stand tall, face it, because that's when transformation begins. You see, greatness isn't born in comfort. It's created in struggle. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Muscles grow through resistance. And champions rise after failure. So when life hurts, whisper to yourself, this is shaping me. This moment of pain is not the end. It's the beginning of a new version of you, one that's wiser, stronger, more resilient. Don't curse your pain, channel it. Don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this teaching me? Once you embrace that question, pain loses its power and purpose takes over. Remember this, pain will either break you or build you, but you get to choose. Let it mold your spirit, sharpen your focus, and awaken the fire within you. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. Every time life hits you hard, it's not because the universe is cruel. It's because you're being refined for something greater. We often think pain means we've done something wrong, that maybe life is unfair or that we're being punished. But in truth, pain is life's way of preparing us for the next chapter, for the version of ourselves we're meant to become. Think about an athlete training for the championship. Every repetition burns, every setback feels unbearable, yet all of it is shaping the strength that will carry them to victory. Without that struggle, they would never have the endurance to stand on the winning stage. It's the same with us. When you face pain, loss, rejection, failure, it's easy to want to escape it. But if you look closer, you'll see that pain has a purpose hidden within it. It forces you to grow, to dig deeper, to find parts of yourself you didn't know existed. Pain humbles you, it clears away pride, ego, and comfort. It makes you look inward and ask, what can I learn from this? What is this moment trying to teach me? The truth is, every difficulty plants a seed of transformation. You may not see it now, but someday you'll realize that what once broke you actually built you. Kobe Bryant understood this deeply. His injuries, his failures, his toughest losses, they weren't punishments. They were preparation for greatness. Pain shaped his mindset, taught him discipline, and fueled his hunger to become unstoppable. Every challenge became a lesson, every disappointment a new opportunity to rise. That's how legends are made. Not by avoiding pain, but by embracing it as part of the process. When you start to see pain differently, your entire perspective changes. Stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as a warrior in training. You begin to recognize that pain refines your character, strengthens your patience, and sharpens your faith. It builds a foundation inside you that cannot be shaken by life's storms. Pain is not there to destroy you. It's there to develop you, to prepare you for the strength, wisdom, and clarity you'll need when your moment arrives. Every struggle carries a lesson meant to strengthen you. Life has a strange way of teaching us what we need to know, not through comfort, but through challenge. Each hardship we encounter is like a mirror reflecting our weaknesses, fears, and limitations, showing us exactly where we must grow. When everything is easy, there's no reason to change, no reason to dig deeper, no reason to evolve. But when life shakes you, when everything you thought was stable begins to fall apart, that's when the real lessons begin to unfold. Pain becomes the teacher, and struggle becomes the classroom where your strength, patience, and resilience are built. You may not always see it while you're in the middle of the storm. The noise of frustration, confusion, and disappointment can drown out the quiet lessons hidden beneath. But if you slow down and truly listen, every challenge carries a message. Sometimes the lesson is about endurance, how to keep moving forward when you want to quit. Sometimes it's about faith, learning to trust the process even when you can't see the destination. Other times, it's about letting go, understanding that certain things must break for better things to grow in their place. Life never wastes a struggle. Every experience is designed to add something to your spirit. When Kobe Bryant spoke about challenges, he often said that struggle revealed character. He understood that greatness is not measured in victories alone, but in how you respond when everything seems to be against you. Every tough practice, every loss, every moment of doubt carried a lesson. It taught him how to rise, how to focus, how to transform pressure into purpose. That's the essence of the Mamba Mentality, to see struggle not as a curse, but as a gift that shapes you into who you're meant to be. You are being shaped in ways you can't always recognize. That heartbreak taught you compassion. That failure taught you humility. That rejection taught you perseverance. Each moment of pain carved a deeper strength into your soul, teaching you lessons no book, no mentor, no speech could ever teach. Struggles don't come to destroy you. They come to reveal your hidden potential, to show you that you're capable of far more than you think. If you can shift your mindset from asking, why is this happening to me, to what is this trying to teach me, everything changes. You stop resisting the pain and start learning from it. You begin to find wisdom in the wounds, clarity in the chaos, and power in the process. Every lesson carried by your struggles is meant to make you stronger, wiser, and more grounded. The more you learn to embrace those lessons, the more unstoppable you become. Because strength born from struggle cannot be taken away. Growth only happens when you face discomfort with courage. Most people want success, but very few are willing to walk through the fire it takes to get there. We crave the reward, but resist the process. Growth is never easy, never comfortable, never convenient. It requires you to step into places that scare you, to confront the fears that keep you small, and to move forward even when everything inside you wants to turn back. Discomfort is not a signal to quit. It's a signal that you're growing. It's proof that you're stretching beyond what you used to be. When you stay in your comfort zone, you stay the same. You repeat the same habits, think the same thoughts, live the same patterns, and expect different results. But nothing changes there because growth lives just beyond the edge of comfort. Every time you choose courage over fear, discipline over ease, faith over doubt, you evolve. The version of you that achieves greatness is waiting on the other side of discomfort. That's where transformation happens. The pain you feel when you're trying to improve, the resistance that meets you when you chase your goals, the fear that whispers you can't. That's the exact point where you must push through. Kobe Bryant lived in that space of discomfort. He understood that true mastery demanded sacrifice, that greatness was born in the hours no one saw, in the moments when quitting would have been easier. He wasn't afraid of the hard work, the exhaustion, the repetition, the pressure, because he knew that's where growth lived. He embraced discomfort as his training ground. Every missed shot was feedback. Every setback was data. Every challenge was a test of his will. He turned pain into purpose by choosing to show up again and again, regardless of how he felt. That's courage, not the absence of fear, but the choice to keep going despite it. Growth asks you to let go of the familiar, to walk into uncertainty with faith. It asks you to trust that even though you can't see the results yet, the effort you're putting in is shaping something powerful within you. The discomfort you feel when you try something new, when you fail and rise again, when you're misunderstood or doubted, that's the process sculpting your strength. It's not supposed to feel easy. If it did, everyone would grow. True growth is uncomfortable because it forces you to face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. It strips away excuses, reveals weaknesses, and challenges your beliefs, but it also builds resilience, sharpens your focus, and deepens your sense of purpose. When you face discomfort with courage, something shifts inside you. You stop running from the things that scare you and start walking toward them with confidence. You realize that the fear you feel is just a sign that you're on the right path. You begin to appreciate the struggle because it's sculpting your strength. Every difficult moment becomes a stepping stone. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every failure becomes fuel. Courage is not a one-time act. It's a daily decision to keep going when it's hard, to keep believing when it's unclear, and to keep growing when it's painful. That's how you evolve from who you are to who you're meant to be. Growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from facing your fears, embracing your struggles, and trusting the process. Even when it hurts, transform your pain into purpose. Don't waste it. Every human being goes through moments that break them. Moments where it feels like the weight of the world is pressing against their chest, where hope feels distant and silence feels heavy. Pain has a way of visiting us uninvited, but how we choose to respond to it determines what it becomes. Most people allow pain to define them, to drain them, to convince them that they have nothing left to give. But the truth is, pain holds immense power if you learn how to transform it. It's raw energy, waiting to be redirected towards something meaningful. When you stop running from your pain and start understanding it, you begin to see that it carries purpose. And inside that purpose lies your power. Every great story ever told has a moment of pain that becomes the turning point. It's the heartbreak that led to self-discovery, the loss that led to faith, the failure that created strength. Pain is the language life uses to get your attention. It asks you to stop, reflect, and realign. Instead of asking, why me? The powerful question is, what can I create from this? Because that single shift in perspective turns pain into fuel. It transforms what once wounded you into wisdom that can guide not just you, but others walking the same path. Kobe Bryant turned pain into purpose through his mindset. Every failure, every criticism, every injury was transformed into motivation. When he tore his Achilles, he didn't collapse into despair. He used that moment to redefine what discipline and recovery meant. He didn't waste his pain. He used it to sharpen his focus, to deepen his love for the game, and to inspire millions. That's what purpose looks like. It's the decision to use your wounds as weapons of strength, to let your scars tell stories of survival, not defeat. Transforming pain doesn't mean pretending it doesn't hurt. It means acknowledging it fully, feeling it deeply, and still deciding to rise. The pain that once made you cry can become the reason someone else smiles one day because you turned it into light. The heartbreak that shattered you can become the compassion that heals others. The failure that humiliated you can become the wisdom that guides someone else towards success. Pain gains meaning when it's shared, when it becomes a message, when it reminds others that healing is possible. That's how you alchemize suffering into purpose. You make it serve something greater than yourself. You can't control when pain arrives, but you can control what you do with it. You can let it make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can let it silence you, or you can let it speak through you. The difference between staying stuck and stepping into purpose lies in that choice. Every time you choose to rise from your pain, you build something unbreakable within you. The fire that once burned you becomes the same fire that fuels your passion. The darkness that once consumed you becomes the same darkness where your light begins to shine. The transformation begins when you stop identifying as a victim and start recognizing yourself as a creator. Pain doesn't mean the end of your story. It's the middle chapter, the one where you discover your strength, faith, and direction. Every obstacle is an invitation to evolve. Every heartbreak is a chance to deepen your empathy. Every failure is a lesson wrapped in disguise. The moment you decide to channel your pain into action, you stop wasting it. Because pain that is understood becomes strength, and strength that is shared becomes purpose. Your scars are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you survived, adapted, and grew. When you transform pain into purpose, you step into a life that inspires others. A life that reminds the world that even broken pieces can build something beautiful. Pain shapes you. You evolve into your highest self. Pain has a way of stripping away everything unnecessary, everything false, everything that hides your true strength. It doesn't just test who you are. It reveals who you're capable of becoming. When life throws you into the fire, it's not trying to destroy you. It's refining you. The heat of struggle burns away fear, doubt, and weakness, leaving behind something purer, stronger, and wiser. Every person who has ever reached greatness has walked through pain, and every one of them emerged transformed. The version of you that pain creates is the one who no longer runs from challenges, but welcomes them as part of your evolution. At first, pain feels cruel. It takes from you, it isolates you, it makes you question your worth and purpose. But if you stay with it, if you let yourself feel it without giving up, it begins to teach. It begins to shape your character in ways that comfort never could. Pain deepens your understanding of life, humbles your spirit, and opens your heart. It's through suffering that empathy is born, through loss that gratitude is strengthened, through failure that wisdom grows. You start to see that pain wasn't there to punish you, but to prepare you for the strength you were always meant to hold. Kobe Bryant lived his life through this truth. Every challenge he faced became an opportunity for evolution. When others saw obstacles, he saw training. When others saw pain, he saw progress. He understood that becoming your highest self means embracing the grind, embracing the setbacks, embracing the process that most people avoid. The Mamba mentality was never about perfection. It was about growth, about constantly pushing past your limits, and about allowing pain to transform you into someone unstoppable. That's the essence of evolution, letting every moment of suffering refine your vision, discipline your heart, and elevate your mind. When you evolve through pain, you begin to see the world differently. You no longer chase temporary comfort or validation. You start seeking meaning. You stop measuring your life by how easy it is and start measuring it by how much you've grown through what was difficult. Pain becomes the compass that points you toward your purpose. It shows you what truly matters and what doesn't. The distractions fade, the noise quiets, and what's left is clarity. Pain clears the fog, revealing who you truly are when everything else is stripped away. The process of becoming your highest self isn't gentle. It's demanding. It asks you to confront your insecurities, to release control, to walk through uncertainty with faith. It asks you to stay disciplined when you feel tired, to stay humble when you succeed, to stay patient when the results don't show up yet. The evolution born from pain is slow and often invisible at first. You may feel stuck, like nothing's changing, but deep down, the transformation is happening. Every time you choose to endure instead of escape, every time you choose to rise instead of retreat, your spirit grows stronger. Changes your relationship with yourself. It teaches you resilience, patience, and the ability to stand tall even when the world feels heavy. It teaches you that you can survive what you once thought would break you. It gives you confidence not built on words or approval, but on evidence. You've been through the fire and came out standing. That kind of strength cannot be given. It must be earned. And once you have it, it never leaves you. You begin to trust yourself in ways you never did before because you've seen your own power up close. Through that evolution, your perspective on life begins to shift. You start realizing that the most painful seasons were also the most meaningful. The heartbreak, the rejection, the failure, they were sculpting your highest self. Without them, you wouldn't carry the same depth, gratitude, or awareness. Pain became the bridge between who you were and who you're meant to be. It shaped your values, defined your priorities, and grounded your faith. The more you evolve through it, the more you understand that every wound was a step toward wisdom. Every loss was a lesson in love, and every tear was water that helped something beautiful grow inside you. Pain is the tool life uses to awaken the greatness within you. It teaches you to let go of what no longer serves your growth and to build a foundation on resilience and truth. The person who emerges from pain is not the same as the one who entered it. You evolve into someone calmer, wiser, and more unshakable. Pain forces transformation, and transformation leads you to your highest self, the version of you that moves with purpose, lives with faith, and stands unbroken no matter what life brings. Pain will either break you or build you, but you get to choose. Every person who walks this earth faces pain in some form, whether it's loss, failure, betrayal, or the quiet loneliness of trying to find meaning. Pain doesn't discriminate. It comes for everyone. The difference lies in what we decide to do with it. Some people let it harden them, closing their hearts and shutting out the world. Others use it as fuel, letting it push them toward their greatest growth. Pain is a force that can destroy or create, weaken or strengthen, but the power of direction always belongs to you. When pain first strikes, it feels unbearable. It shakes your foundation, blinds your vision, and leaves you questioning why things happened the way they did. It's easy in that moment to give in to despair, to believe you're being punished or that you'll never recover. But hidden inside that pain is a choice, a quiet, invisible decision that determines whether you rise or fall. If you choose to see pain as a teacher instead of a sentence, everything changes. The same weight that once crushed you becomes the pressure that forges you. The same wound that once broke you becomes the source of your wisdom. It's not about what happened to you. It's about what you decide to build from it. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has faced pain so deep it could have ended them. Kobe Bryant knew this truth. He faced moments of doubt, loss, and physical suffering, but he never let pain define him. He turned every challenge into motivation, every failure into momentum. He understood that the pain wasn't there to break him. It was there to build the mindset, discipline, and strength required to reach the level of excellence he dreamed of. That's the mindset of a builder. Pain gave him focus, and instead of resisting it, he embraced it. He didn't run from the discomfort of hard work or the sting of defeat. He turned it into energy. When you choose to let pain build you, you stop being a victim of your circumstances and become a creator of your destiny. You begin to realize that pain is not a signal to stop. It's a signal to transform. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to develop inner power. Every failure becomes a reminder that progress is still happening, even when you can't see it. You start to understand that life's most painful experiences often hide the greatest lessons. Pain shows you what truly matters. It strips away what's fake and leaves behind what's real, your faith, your strength, your resilience. But the choice is never easy. Choosing to let pain build you means facing it head on. It means sitting with your discomfort, acknowledging your emotions, and refusing to let bitterness take root. It means turning your wounds into wisdom, your struggles into stories of perseverance. Pain will test your patience, it will stretch your limits, but it will also awaken your potential. Growth doesn't come from running away. It comes from walking through the fire with courage and trusting that the burn is shaping something within you that no comfort ever could. The people who rise above pain are not the ones who never fall. They're the ones who decide that falling is not the end. They use their pain as a foundation, not a cage. They build empathy, compassion, and understanding from their suffering. They become the kind of people who can stand tall in any storm because they've already faced the worst and learned to keep standing. Pain builds a strength that can't be taught by success. It builds a heart that stays humble, a mind that stays sharp, and a soul that stays unbreakable. Pain will test your faith in yourself, in others, and in life. It will make you question your purpose, your worth, and your path. But each time you rise, each time you refuse to surrender, that faith becomes stronger. The pain that once made you doubt becomes the reason you believe again. You begin to understand that every moment of suffering was guiding you toward growth, not away from it. What feels like breaking is often reshaping. What feels like loss is often realignment. Life removes what is not meant for your higher purpose, even when it hurts. You always have two choices, to stay broken or to be rebuilt. One choice keeps you in the dark, the other moves you toward light. One choice feeds your fear, the other fuels your strength. Every time you choose to grow instead of give up, you take back your power. You become proof that pain can be transformed into greatness, that wounds can turn into wisdom, and that heartbreak can lead to healing. You realize that pain was never your enemy. It was your sculptor, molding you into the person you were meant to become. When you let pain build you, you stop seeing it as something to escape and start seeing it as something sacred. It becomes part of your story, part of your strength, part of your identity. Pain becomes the reason you love deeper, work harder, believe stronger. It connects you to humanity because it reminds you that everyone is fighting battles unseen. It humbles you and strengthens you at the same time. And though it may never disappear completely, it becomes lighter because it now carries meaning. Pain doesn't have to destroy you. It can be the foundation upon which you build your greatness.